Alright everybody, hello and welcome. We are back for more Vintage Cube Draft. Today's special guest is Basti, aka Prices MTG, part and partner of the channel. Hello Basti.
Hi Niklas, nice to be here.
Nice to have you, man. I just went 2-1 with a Rector's mid-range list, which was pretty sweet. But I lost against an Ancestral Recall because depletion always gets beaten by generation of resources. Only if it's like just a big depletion, then you have a chance, but...
Would you say that that's the rule for Vintage Cube only, or for Limited in general, or for Magic in general?
I heard it's a rule for Magic in general that like depletion gets beaten by generation. I think that's entirely true. It's depending on the depletion and on the time also. Like overall, generation beats depletion, but for a shorter window of time when you have the depletion going on and you can finish off the opponent, it's not entirely true, I don't think. All right, so pack one, pick one is not overwhelmingly exciting. I don't even know what to take. We've got some nice dual lands. Maybe we start up with a fetch land here.
So you prefer the fetch land over the just a straight up 2-color land?
I think I would do that, yes. Because it's a blue fetch and there's like, in general, a little bit better than the other colors. Keeps us more open. If I get a fetch land and later I will play, let's say I play red and white, I can also fetch the Flooded Strand for a plateau. So that keeps me just a little bit more open, just a pinch. I mean,
okay, that makes sense.
Can also pick a Vendilion Clique here, but I think I'm leaning towards the Flooded Strand. Oh, we get past the Mox Pearl, so that's our choice number one here.
Yeah, I think that's a really easy pick.
I think so too. Like, you can not really make a case for picking Deck Faden over the Mox Pearl. Maybe you can wheel a Thalia. So let's take the Mox Pearl again. So no fetchable dual lands with the Flooded Strand here. Maybe it's just the Venser. Murderous Rider is good. Also, like maybe we should pick the Stone Cold Serpent to stay even more open then.
Well, to be honest, I'm not a big fan of the Stone Cold Serpent, but I don't see anything here that would get me to commit to a color too, so...
Maybe I prefer that over the Venser, and then maybe we can find a rather open lane. I don't think Venser is a good card on its own. Maybe even the best card in the pack here. We could also...
Or the Tiger.
Or the Tiger, yeah, I was thinking about that too. Let's pick up the Stone Cold Serpent, and it's gonna be solid, no matter what, I think. So as we have the Flooded Strand and the Mox Pearl already, we can easily pick up a Teferi here.
What would be the alternatives you would consider here?
Not really anything else. I mean, Dark Confidant is really sweet. Also, Mirror Battlesphere. I don't think I have any incentive to take one of those dual lands. Like in raw power, I think Teferi beats all the other cards. Like maybe the Battlesphere or Dark Confidant you could make a case. But as we have the Flooded Strand in the Mox Pearl already, we have an uncolor card that we can turbo out. And it's a really good one, so...
Okay, so I guess we're going for that. Even though I don't think we saw any good blue cards, and no, I made to eat my words here, of course.
Well, don't worry. Like, we passed a lot of blue stuff to the left, but it was not overwhelmingly good stuff. So I think we can pick up an easy Muldrifter here. And you can also make a case for the Plateau, though. But Muldrifter is too solid overall, I think. Baneslayer, there's like similar effects. Muldrifter is kind of unique. I would like the Ready, but it's double off. Felidar Retreat, I don't know about. Like, it could be Felidar Retreat.
I mean, it gets better with fetch lands, obviously, but it might be a little bit slow.
True. Maybe we can wheel it also. So, like, the cards to wheel would be Felidar Retreat, Plateau, and maybe a Baneslayer Angel too. Here we have a Godless Shrine, which stands out to me. Also, Lair and Relic Warder.
And an Oust.
And the
But
Oust.
I think I'd be on the Godless Shrine here, to be honest.
Alright, man, then I will go with your decision, because like for me it sounds really appealing to have a nice Esper build. Like the cards just synergize very well together. I don't know if I said that yesterday, but like one more shout out to Universal Threats and Answers. Universal Answers, first off. Black and blue, like both provide answers for whatever card there is. Like a Thoughtseize can grab the best card out of their hand, no matter the color. And a blue counter spell can do the same. So if you counter a spell, it says counter target spell, like the usual counter spell, right? Doesn't matter the color, doesn't matter the mana cost of it, you can answer it. So that's the important thing about it. And I think like blue, black, and white, they offer like a bunch of universal threats and answers. So here we can take a Shambling Vent, Lingering Souls, or Animate Dead. It's a fairly late Animate Dead. I think I want to go with the Animate Dead here. Maybe splash the white just for the Teferi. I think it's just
I'd
so.
also be on the animate dead here, definitely. I think if it comes to power level, it's just the strongest card in the pack.
Nice. Okay, so we really agree on that one. That's good. Oh wow. Is this the pack that we opened? Oh, not yet, right? Okay. So we could take a Corpse Dance. Archangel Everson is also a sweet card. But I think I'm leaning towards the Thieving Skydiver actually.
In that cube, that would also be my pick.
It makes
I
just a
think there are
lot
a
of
lot of
sense.
strong artifacts here. And if you can just get a 2-for-1 out of it, it's so strong.
Yeah, man. Also, we have the Mox Pearl already going on, so if you can turbo it out and steal their Signet on the draw, that's just a devastating play sometimes. Nice Questing Beast on the wheel here. We could take a Null Priest of Oblivion. Revelark, not so much. Maybe Face Feathers can be a good answer too.
I feel like Faith Feathers is just one of the worst removal spells in the set. I mean,
You're
I'd
right.
always prefer something like Banishing Light or Path of Exile or something like that.
Would you take a Savannah then?
I think it's justifiable.
You have the choice between the Scavenging Ooze and the Tessigur. Maybe it's a Tessigur. Because we already have the blue, like pretty sure that we want to play the blue.
And we have a reanimate, so. Or an animate dead, sorry.
Yeah. So that seems kind of nice. Well, maybe as we have the Animate Dead already going on, we can take an Una's Prowler as a discard outlet and maybe find some decent reanimate targets. Wall of Omens is gonna be sweet, but it's gonna be very cuttable also. I think I'm going for the Prowler here. Okay. I mean, best card is just that Johnny Vengeant. We could still be Jeskai. Okay, so we beat the Felida Retreat. Let's pick that.
Yeah, that's nice. And
And
the
the
Oust also
Oust.
came back.
That's sweet. P and Kieran. So we have to see whether or not we want to be Jeskai or Esper here. We already have the better fixing for Esper colors.
And there's a Mox Sapphire. So, our second piece of power.
That's really lucky. That's really lucky of us. So I don't think there's more that we can ask for. Like we have the Uncolor Moxen, both of them. So let's hope to wheel maybe Darkslick Shores here. Maybe Makeshift Mannequin even.
Force of Negation would be too much to ask.
Yeah, I think so too. It would be very, very sweet, but it's very unlikely to come around here. If you want to play the Felida Retreat, you really want to pick up some more fetches. Arid Mesa, for example. There's also the Mana Tithe.
But seeing that we are likely to be in blue, maybe the Mana Tithe isn't as important as it would be in mono white or an aggressive deck.
That's a really, really solid argument there. Shall we go for an Arid Mesa or the Opposition Agent here?
I think I'd go for the Arid Mesa, seeing that I'm not 100% sure yet if we're gonna end up in black. I mean, it's probable, but I don't think we're 100% sure yet.
Mm-hmm.
Could also be Jeskai, as you said before, and then the Arid Mesa would just be really solid.
Okay, yeah, I'm on board with the Mesa also. Like we have the Felida Retreat. We want to play white most likely. And these cards, like they need synergy to work. Whereas a Johnny Vengeance doesn't, right? We already have the Godless Shrine, so can make a case for maybe play a black card later. But let's for now pick the Arid Mesa and see what's up. Ooh, and that's an Ashiok of Nightmare Weaver here that we could pick. Like there's also the Necromancy, which would be like the second piece of animation.
We could also think about the Council's Judgment, I think, seeing that we are light on removal. But I think the Ashiok and the Council's Judgment and the Necromancy are all kind of fine. Even though I'd prefer to splash an Ashiok over splashing a Necromancy.
Yeah, I think so too. And like the setup for the Reanimator deck is like requires you to have a lot of tutor effects. You like here we don't know about that, so maybe we can wheel the Necromancer. Let's take the Ashiok. That's like the most solid pickup here. Maybe we can play a deck that is like all but green if you get enough fetch lands. Yeah, I think I like the Hail Fountain the most here.
Yeah, I think I'm on board with that. I don't think it's the deck for Smuggler's Copter, even though it's really strong. And I think you could also make a case for Banishing Light, but I just hope to get better removal later in Esper colors, so.
Yeah, let's play a Vanishing Light this time. Like last time, the last draft we played together, we were missing out on this kind of unconditional removal. And like I'm an advocate of like universal answers, as I said already. So I'm a big fan of Vanishing Light. Let's hope it will come around. We have a chance to wheel the Kaya. We have a chance to wheel Unburial Rites for a mid-range deck. But as we have like we are really solid fixing here.
And now I think it has to be the Scrubland. That's just too good.
Scrubland seems really nice, but so does the Celestial Colonnade also. I'm really between those two. I'm a little bit torn here. Because Scrubland is fetchable, yeah. Scrubland is fetchable by those 2 lands. But the Celestial Colonnade is so sweet also. Maybe you can wheel it. Because that's a really relevant land. Because it's flying. It's a flying threat
Yeah.
also.
But the Scrubland would enable us to get a Black Source out of the Arid Mesa if we need it, which I really think is a plus.
It's really good fixing, the Scrubland. Let's kick it up. Ooh, alright. I guess I want to pick up a balance here. Although it's not the best balanced decks I've ever seen. Maybe like Narset could be better.
I'm definitely a big fan of Narset, but I never saw her in Vintage Cube. I just know her from like Historic and Standard. So hard for me to say anything about that pick.
For me, it's really close here. Narset or the balance.
I mean, Narset is a 3-drop, which seeing that we ramp could be really nice with
Well,
Mox and yeah.
I guess there was not enough time for me. Like that's a Super Friends build, so the Narset would have fit in there too. Oh wait, oh now I can pick up the Vampiric Tutor, but like it's a little bit contradictory to what we are doing.
I'd also like Ancestral Vision, seeing that we are lacking card draw now.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you could also make a solid case for the Skyclave Apparition and the Spell Pierce. It's kind of a stack pack.
Mm-hmm. I guess I like the cheap interaction here in form of the Spell Pierce. When we proceed and we get a lot of Planeswalkers, like maybe we don't need the card draw. And also if it's a bad top deck in a late game, so you have to top deck it and then you have to suspend it. It's good in your start, like it's in the opener, it's like undebatably strong, but
I'd like Control Magic for the sideboard versus green decks.
yeah, that seems like a really solid choice. We could even go ahead and main deck it, so like let's see what we have to play or what we can play. And we are short on playables. Like that's also an okay main deck inclusion, but as you mentioned before, it's way better in the sideboard. So let's put it there and hope we get enough playables so we don't have to play it. So maybe if you want to just upgrade our mana base with the Emeria's Call.
Yeah, I think the best card in the pack is the Mother of Runes, but we are not really doing that, so I guess it's a call.
I absolutely agree on that. So like the last deck I drafted with like Planeswalker Super Friends in blue and white, I really like I thought the Mother of Runes to be a little bit odd. So I think I want to upgrade the mana base even further and take the Mary's Call here. All right,
And
holy cow.
Mana Tide be great, and I think I'd even pick it over Resident Port, to be honest, seeing that we are most likely 3-color.
Would you pick it over the Opposition Agent though?
I think I would, but I think you know it better than me, so
Ah,
if you
it's
think it's the agent.
it's definitely a close call here. Let's pick up the Mana Tithe.
For me, agent feels more like a sideboard card, and Mana Tide feels more like an auto-include, but I might be wrong.
I think you are right. I actually rated the Opposition Agent a little bit more highly than it deserves to be given credit for. Like it's a really solid card, but it's also kind of a little bit more narrow than I thought it would be. I mean, there are a lot of fetch lands going around, and all right. So we picked up the Council's Judgment. Now we have to decide what we want to do. Do we want the Kaya or the Banishing Light?
I think if we can pick up some more card draw with Banishing Light would be great, but Kaya is a great sideboard card, so it's your call.
I think I'm taking the Banishing Light. Okay, Containment Priest versus Spellseeker. The Spellseeker can grab the balance, so I think I'm on board for that.
Okay. Only point here is that we are really low on 2 drops.
Yeah. Oh, that's a nice Planeswalker that on the wheel here for us. Dark Petition. Going to the side. Alright. Oh, a Bribery? Oh, yeah.
I love that card.
Oh, man. It's an all-time classic.
That's like one of my 2 favorite cards, which I actually own in paper.
Let's just pick that up.
Oh, it's Trip Mine? Yeah. No, let's go for Bribery, I think, when we 3 colors, but passing a Strip Mine just hurts.
It always hurts, you're right, but I think there's like not many cards that are really better as an auto-win inclusion than the Bribery here for us.
True.
Alright. Mm.
And that's my favorite card, which I actually own, the Tolarian Academy.
Well, I don't know if it's enough here for the Academy.
I'd love the Languish if you think we could pull it off mana-wise. I think that's exactly what we want to board wipe with our controlling planeswalkers and our counter spells. But it's double black, so...
Let's hope to get one of the whiteboard wipes here. But what else do we want to have then? This is something like Exhume, but not really. Yeah, maybe the Languish is just the best choice. It's double black, it's hard to splash, but we have some okay fixing.
Yeah, I think the
Well,
other option is the Sour of Temptation.
Let's maybe pick that up, yeah, because like double black is really seems hard to achieve. Sun Titan could be really good too. Oh my god, there's the Griselbrand. Spell Pierce, Mana Tithe. Doesn't seem like the best Torrential Gearhawk deck. Maybe just a Rooftwing Cloudsgate. Catacombs can fetch the Godless Shrine and the Scrubland, but there's only fixes for white and black, but it's still fine, right?
Fixes for 2 colors and activates the
Felidar
Retreat.
I think I'm leaning towards the Cloudsgate actually.
I think that's totally justifiable. The only thing that I don't like about this deck yet is that we are really lacking some solid card draw.
It's definitely true. Oh, that's a tough choice between the Day of Judgment and the Mana Leak.
Seeing that we already have Mana Tide, Ours, and Spell Pierce for cheap interaction, I think I'd even be on the Day of Judgment.
Like the early game interaction seems so important to me. Like I don't want to pass a Mana Leak to the left when I have the chance to wheel a Day of Judgment. Like it seems odd, but these effects usually wheel too. Like we got a Gideon Jura, maybe like the third last pick or something. Like white is super open. We also got a very late Council's Judgment, so the double white board wipes. I think we are the only deck that really uses or utilizes this effect. So I hope we can wheel it.
Or we could wheel the things and go completely crazy.
Yeah, I mean it can be really solid, right? So maybe that's something you want to look out for. Okay, there's Azorius Signet, Cryptic Command, and Upheaval. I don't think that's a good Upheaval deck.
I would be on the Signet, I think.
Oh, Cryptic Command is so good though.
Yeah, it is, but it's also true with blue, and we are like 3 colors. Maybe we are even just 2 colors, of course. We don't have to play the Ashiok, but I think at this point it's kind of for free.
It's kind of free, yeah. Yeah, maybe we play the Azorius Signet. Well, a Cryptic Command though. It's just cryptic. We need some 4-drops too, but it's like the Uncolor Signet. I guess I want to play the Cryptic Command. I don't know. We already have the Mox Pearl and the Mox Sapphire, Spell Pierce for the early turns. It just seems so good to... Like, it just seems like that good of a 2-for-1. So, Daze, Time Warp, Crucible of Words to go along with the Felidar Retreat. We have 2 fetch lands only.
I think...
Maybe it's still the Daze.
Yeah, I was kind of sure that you would say that.
I mean, yeah, it's... Tideholo Scholar is also pretty good. But do you think that a 5-mana Time Warp is really what we want here?
Well, it's great if we already have a Planeswalkers out. If we don't, it's kind of just ramping or drawing an extra card, so it depends. But yeah.
Maybe we can wheel it. Oh my god. Urza Lord High Artificer against Teferi.
I think I'd be on Teferi, to be honest.
Same here, man. I think Teferi is just a little bit better. Like, the Urza in this shell doesn't seem overwhelmingly powerful. It seems nice, but it seems a little bit out of place. Maybe we can wheel a Fatal Push. Like, I would play that, maybe. So, we really want to wheel the Day of Judgment here. That would be kind of important, actually. Okay.
Yes, I said, I think a board map is exactly what we want with this deck.
Yes, it is. And we really need that to wheel bust, so you have to channel your forces with me. So we can wheel that Day of Judgment. That would be so important for this deck. I don't think Iona is gonna get there. I mean, we have the Animate that, but it's a little bit too late. Also, Stoneforge Mystic, no fetchable equipment. I thought that Adele is maybe pretty nice.
Could be great, yeah. Might be a better sideboard card than the Disenchant.
Okay, let's go for it.
Actually.
Let's go for it, yeah. Alright, so Winds of Abandon, that could be also pretty sweet. Because that's, for 6 mana, it's a one-sided board wipe, and it's also a cheap answer to creatures.
I think that's definitely what we should pick here.
Yes, I think we also could, like, let's pick it over the Damnation, because the fixing is fine, but it's not insane. And that's a solid main deck option here. Languish came around too, okay. So
We
in
could
this,
definitely pick that for the sideboard at least.
I think I'm on the Sun Titan almost.
To get back a Priory, or what's the target here?
No, we can get back a Teferi, Ashiok, Spellseeker, Banishing Light.
Okay, if you think so.
Yeah, I think I'm so confident that we wheel a Day of Judgment here. Ooh, Torrential Gearhulk. Okay, now it seems way better, like with all those counter spells. Maybe that's a better 6-drop than the Sun Titan. Could also make a case for the Lotus Petal even, but I think... we have the Cryptic Command, so... Yeah, here we go. Oh my god, nice. Whew.
Good call.
Yeah, and it was a little bit risky, I have to admit that, but I was kind of confident that we could pull it off. So let's just freely splash this Ashiok and we have a really solid deck. That way we can cut the Stone Coil, so that's our early plays. Pretty sick. Okay, so we're taking the Stomping Ground, so nobody else gets it.
The times I watched you do Vintage Cube, you picked like the Stone Coil Serp 3 times to stay open, and it didn't end up in the deck once, I think.
Yeah. Yes, that's oftentimes the case. Spellseeker is great in this deck. We can find the Council's Judgment. We can find a balance.
With the 2 mocks, can we get away with 16 lands?
Could be worth a try here. Do you think you wanna maybe sideboard the Skydiver?
Well, I think there's a case for that, but also it's like our only playable 2-drop as a creature. But I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm simply not sure.
So I want to play all of those. Maybe the Felidar Retreat is too weak?
I think that's kind of the decision that we have to take here. Do we want to be more mid-range or do we want to be more control? I think if we're trying to control the game, the retreat is actually strong. But if we want to be more tempo-oriented, I think it's a cut.
Maybe the Oust is something you want to do in the side, that can start in the sideboard. Titan of the Skull is fairly strong. I mean, it's pretty strong.
I think I wouldn't cut the Oust, to be honest.
You wouldn't cut it?
I think it's just too solid.
Against any deck with creatures, it's pretty sweet, yeah.
And I don't see us winning the game by doing damage fast, to be honest. I would say we're a control deck, simply because we don't have any creatures that really can apply pressure early.
I really think so too. Maybe like we have the balance too, so maybe we don't need or don't want any creatures also. So what's the best card here? Let's put the playables over here.
If we can get away with being that greedy, I think for me it would be between Felidar Retreat and Sun Titan.
Let me think about this real quick. Yeah, I think it's a 4-drop for me. So I'm between Control Magic, Sword of Temptation, and Felidar Retreat. Let's try out the Felidar Retreat.
Yeah, I think it's better in more different kinds of matchups than the Control Magic, so...
And that's definitely what we should go for here, I think.
But I think this looks fine.
Looks absolutely fine, yeah. So we have Scrubland, Godless Shrine, so this makes 1, 2, 3, 4 black sources.
4 black sources for 1 card is absolutely fine.
I think so too, so we don't have to bother any more cards. Okay, we can add 1 more basic land actually. Should we count, like, or should we play with 16 lands?
We also play the Call, which you could make an argument for running more lands with it, I guess, but...
I'm debating whether or not it's important for us, like, it's really important for us to hit the land drops, right?
Yeah, I think if we reach 4, we're kind of fine. But we really shouldn't stumble till we have 4 mana. That would be my read.
Yep, I absolutely agree on that.
And also we have a Felidar Retreat, which is kinda a little bit of incentive at least to play more lands.
That's absolutely true. Maybe we cut the Skydiver for now, but it's so good main deck.
Yeah, like if you see a Soul Ring or Mana Crypt or Mox or Signet or anything and you just can take it turn 3 or turn 4. And then you're like, next turn you instantly have your Planeswalker or your Gearhulk. That's just so strong.
Yeah, that's just too strong. Like, the downside is so... Like, the downside is pretty high also, right? It's a 2-mana 2/1 flyer, which is perfectly fine. It can pressure Planeswalkers too. It's like, it's cheap. So I don't think that's the card that we want to cut. Maybe it's the Winds of Abandon. I think it's maybe the Oust or the Winds of Abandon that we want to cut. Or
I don't think we really need the Winds of Abandon, seeing that we have the Day of Judgment. I just was really high on the pick because we didn't know if the Day of Judgment would wheel.
So would you like to get rid of the Day?
I think I'd go for playing the Day and cut the Abandon, but you're the expert here, so I think you should know better, so totally your call.
Okay, let me think about this real quick. Maybe we are a little bit too heavy on creature removal here.
Yeah, having A little bit more card draw would be great, but I think playing planeswalkers and removal spells was always a good limited strategy, at least in my experience.
Mm-hmm. Thing is, like, there are some a little bit more broken things. Like we have a good chance to deal with the broken things because we have counter magic.
I might even cut the Spellseeker, to be honest, but I might be way off here.
Let's cut the Spellseeker and bring it in a matchup where we have to really find the find and fetch the board wipe, because it doesn't really fetch anything else. Like if it's not a creature matchup, we can like find Days in Mana League, which is not amazing, right? So maybe it's not the best Spellseeker deck.
That's what I'm going to say, because like Spell Pierce, Mana League, and Daze are very strong in the early game.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have late in Vand, it can often be a dead card, and Spellseeker kind of fetches the spells late, so it's not really what we're supposed to do.
Absolutely, and also like if we fetch for the balance, we have one creature on board, right? So Spellseeker into balance is not that great because they get to leave one creature, like the strongest creature on the battlefield too. So maybe that's what we have to go for here, and then we add maybe a blue source. Yeah, I think I want one more blue. Just because I see the cryptic command. We are one Dairo, so we're gonna go first here with a solid keep.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's hope we're playing versus a creature-heavy aggressive deck.
What you mean if you're playing against a creature deck, they're gonna be sad?
Yeah.
They will be very sad, yes.
And we go down to 5, so...
Mulligan to 5, like, I don't know what they're gonna say when their stuff gets mana tied too. I wanna play the Mox.
To be safe against this card, or what's the...
Yeah, kind of to be safe against this card. And also, like, they could play Island, then they could cast a 1-mana spell. I wanna mana tithe it, and then they could daze it. So I'm safe against a daze against my mana tithe. That was like the most. Oh my gosh, jeez.
That's nice. It's just one more land and we have
It's like
Teferi.
Teferi turn 3 is possible here, so yeah, I will just play this too.
Yeah,
I think. Just gonna play this too. So here we
He
are.
must be very happy looking at the board right now.
This is really disgusting, actually. We're looking at banned colors. That's an easy mana tithe. Yeah, let's tithe that.
Yeah, of course.
And if you find a land now...
if we get the land, he doesn't have any counter magic up, and the game should already be close to over, I think.
Here we go. Jamming this turn 3 casual Teferi. Don't mind me, Rocky Mr. Chester Flux. Let's draw that card. Definitely untapping double blue here.
To represent counter spell, of course.
Yes. That's a scoop, like, dude, what a freaking game. Like, that was tilting for the opponent for sure. Tactics of Intimidation turn 1 here. I mean... That was pretty sick. So we saw not much of the opponent's deck. It's bound colors. So maybe they are bound super friends of some sort, maybe. I don't know if you want any of those spells or just run it like this.
I think we could maybe get rid of one board wipe.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing that they are blue and white. Could be controlling, but we don't really know, so yeah.
Was it Tundra? Was it like the first land was a green land? And they had a Dimir signet. Okay, they had a Dimir signet too. So I think they are more heavy blue. So you could be right. So maybe you want to get rid of the balance here.
I think that's a fine call. But what do we get in for that?
I think I like this card here quite a bit. This hand seems pretty solid too. It has turn 2 counter spell. Some solid answers, and maybe we can win the game on the back of the bribery. Good enough to keep. We can do way better too though.
Could be better, but I think it's better than most 6 card heads. So.
Yeah, I think so too. You're right. Seeing a tropical island is kind of scary here. Definitely fetching out a land.
He seems to have all the dual lands here.
Mm-hmm. Pretty solid bound mana base. So we got a free win in game 1, but like, let's not be too cocky about that. Emir Signet too, alright. We want to fetch out on a Hallowed Fountain, possibly. Because you already have the Godless Shrine. And you want to hit triple blue for sure. Oh, right, a Mox Pearl is definitely what we need. Let's play a Plains and a Mox Pearl here.
And I'm just calling a great mana league now. He wrapped it to 4 mana, and I think he's going to try to use it, and then we're just going to be golden.
So this is why I play the Plains to fake and not counter magic. Okay, dude, that's gonna not resolve here. Thief of Sanity.
I so love that card.
Yeah, that card is pretty cool.
I think we're countering here, seeing that we have the unconditional removal still in hand.
Yeah, I was thinking like, can we like remove it next turn and still hold up the counter magic? But seeing that this is not the case, oh my god, let's bribery them. Hey,
Just drawing all the moxes, they must be so tilted.
this is so unfair here, man. Well, don't mind me taking the Ulamog. Yeah, boy. Oh my gosh, what was that? Like
That was like 2 minutes 51 of playtime. I think it was kind of the fastest way I ever saw someone lose money on MTGO.
yeah, that was $5, and so the time he had to think was 1.5 minutes. Look at the deck, man. He had some really like. If this game goes long, they can at some point overpower us. But we have the tools to interact so early with them, so we can like really stop them from developing this big game plan. Okay, I think I want to keep this hand.
I think that's great, and
Yeah, man, because the Mary's Call is also a land for us.
I think waiting for 7 mana here is just not realistic or necessary, seeing that we have to ferry and bribery.
Island was like one of the best draws that we could have had, actually.
Yeah.
Maybe a Mox would have been better, let's be fair, but
Will come turn 4.
it's pretty
Like
likely
right on
also.
time.
Right on scale. Okay, let's counter this.
Of course.
Okay, we are playing against a pretty nice archetype. Let's play the Hello Fountain tapped and proceed.
Yeah, but I think if he's really Golgari, that should also be a good matchup for us.
It can have some insane grind. Like sometimes like these decks have so much grind. Well, that's a little bit unfortunate here. Now they know about the Spell Pierce, that's unlucky.
I'm more concerned with them taking the bribery actually than anything else.
I'm the most concerned with them seeing my hand. So in a deck like this, what I expect, or like one of the worst case scenario that can happen, is a Mind Twist actually.
Yeah, now they would play around the Spell Pierce, of course, makes sense. But also if they like Mind Twist and play around the Spell Pierce, that's like they can Mind Twist for 2 less, and then we still discarding the Spell Pierce, which means it still saves us like 3 cards.
Okay, opponent making the right choice here. I could see myself casting Balance here.
I see it the same way, just cast Balance, drop an island, hold up Spell Pierce.
Because they also have to discard here, so that's kind of a nice balance here actually. They have to discard one, second the creature away. We play the island, hold up the Spell Pierce. Well, let's play the planes because they don't know about the island.
That's a good call. And if everything goes to plan, that's a 2-for-1 into a bribery next turn.
Okay, so we have to be a little bit careful of reanimation spells here. So if we make them discard, there could be a reanimate, but like they have...
And if they are a reanimation deck, that's also great for the bribery, of course. Seeing that they will have some big stuff.
There you say something. Alright, so then let's bribery them first, right? See what's up.
On board with that. I'd like an Ulamog, please.
Oh.
What?
Okay, let's check their deck. I'll just take a quick picture with my phone.
So they seem to already have their target in hand.
They have Ancestral Recall to Dark Ritual, but it's like they don't have Reanimate.
And they don't have many threats, I would say. Like they have an Ashiok, but what else wins them the game?
As I see their Demonic Tutors, like only Demonic Tutor, the Opposition Agent is good against. Maybe it's just a Dark Confidant here.
I take the Dark Confidant too. Yeah, but I'm feeling like they have to have their bomb in hand because I don't see them just playing one win condition.
That's a good point. That's the Ash. Oh, that's a Leovold. That's pretty good. Luckily, the Dark Confidant. Oh, that's not a board wipe. Okay, perfect. So maybe we just want a board wipe here.
Yeah, I mean, if we could drop the ferry and it would survive, I'd totally be for that, but we can't. So I guess we're board wiping.
Let's go ahead and wipe the board so they don't get to draw many more cards, and I think we can... Oh, wait. Let's tap like this. So we are on parity with cards in hand.
Yeah, but 2 lands on board.
Hopefully no Mind Twist here. Well, we have the Spell Pierce. Maybe that's a Mind Twist. It's a Mold Drifter, okay. It's evoked. And they don't have Reanimate, so why do they play all these cards? That's a tutor, okay, so we want to counter that for sure.
Of course.
After that, we slam the Teferi, hope for more counter magic.
I mean, it kind of feels like a bait, seeing that they knew we had the Spell Pierce, but yeah.
It does, but I don't know. Let's jump the big boy. Start drawing some cards, playing a land. So hopefully Teferi can take over the game here.
We don't have anything. Okay.
Oh, but we need a black source. So right now we don't have the black source actually. It's a little bit rough. Here we go. Ah, the Mr. T is just so overwhelmingly powerful.
Yeah, this seems kind of over, to be honest.
Yeah, it does. So let's jam the other Teferi too, because we can start.
What did we exile?
No creature. We exiled Mind Twist, Repeal.
That's fine, I guess.
Yeah, that's fine. So we're still faking that counter magic. Now we have 3 Super Friends on the board, so it's maybe time to concede for the opponent. Yeah.
Technically, we only have 2.
Yeah, true. The younger and the older. One time traveler and reveler. The absolute hero. Okay, so
He had a Mox, I think.
I'm looking at the list right now one more time, so it's here. They have Chromox, Ancestral Recall. Not really any other artifacts.
Yeah, so it might not be worth it.
Maybe not, right? It's like they're really light on win conditions here. Really light on win conditions.
Well, to be honest, I wasn't smart enough to actually make a picture of their decklist, so I think you're kinda in an advantage making sideboard decisions here.
Yeah, like an advantage, like not over you, but over the opponent for sure. They have a fast spawn. I don't know what their deck does. Like maybe just the cards in their hand. Like the only win condition I see is like they don't even have removal. They just want to discard our hand. I have no idea. So what do we want to side?
If they don't have removal, the 2/2 flyer which steals a creature might be fine.
So yeah, they don't have any piece of. Oh, they have collective brutality. That's all though. They have some ramp and card draw, and then maybe just the Titan to finish the game. Let's take a control magic maybe.
Also seems like a good call, yeah.
It also seems like the list seems also pretty fine actually.
And I don't know why I would ever take a flyer over control magic.
Yeah, doesn't make that much sense. Like sometimes where you just need that extra 2 damage on the board, but usually not, right?
That's fine, I guess.
Yeah, let's keep it. Maybe they thought seize turn 1. Yep. Let's see what they take.
Called it. I take the Teferi if I was them.
Always.
If they have a fast start, you could also take a balance, but seeing that they only play like 6 creatures, I don't really see that.
They're taking Mana Tithe. That's interesting. So their next turn is most likely gonna be Mesmeric Fiend.
Yeah, but what do they do if they take a balance? We don't really care, and if you take a Spell Pierce, we just play the balance.
They're confident.
I guess I would Mesa into Godless Shrine and then just keep the Spell Pierce up.
We could also just Winds of Abandon this guy here.
Before it gets out of control. Yeah, that might actually be even better.
It's a little bit sad that we just played the Mesa here. I mean, it makes perfect sense to fetch. We have a Scrubland too. So let's go for the Scrubland. Or a Hallowed Fountain, because you want to have triple blue. The decision we have to make is, do we want to cast Cryptic Command or do we want to cast Ashiok?
Well,
I
think
guess
the chance of drawing them is 50-50 and one doesn't cost us.
And I think the chance of drawing more islands is higher than drawing the second source. Okay, so we are ramping them here right now, which is kind of not very nice. We could also just balance and then we have to discard a land.
Or we could just let him have their confidant for like 2 turns and then balance.
But they already know about the balance.
Yeah, but they're drawing more cards than us anyways. How can they actually...
Alright, maybe we don't have to get rid of the Bob right now. Oh, Thief of Sanity dealing 6 to them? How are they already so low here? Okay, if they play this Thief of Sanity, we can, I think, feel kind of free to balance next turn. Derogatory Speaker. So they didn't hit any more lands. I think I'm kind of suspending this guy here. I should have played the island in this case. But let's balance now. So they don't get to hit their land drops here.
Yeah, but we will lose 1 land. currently.
Oh gosh, that's true.
That we should have done before.
Okay, so I have to refocus here a little bit.
I mean, you could play with Teferi and bounce with Bob, which would mean that they would most likely kill the Teferi with the Tree Speaker instead of using the mana and replay with Bob. And then we could still balance, get rid of a hand card of them, and if they play a land, don't lose a land and kill 2 creatures. I think that seems kind of fine.
It really does. The problem is if they have a Mind Twist.
Yeah.
If they have a Mind
But
Twist,
at the moment,
it's okay
yeah, it's 2
actually.
head cards.
It's okay actually if they hit the Mind Twist. So could also bounce the Tree Speaker.
That might even be better, yeah, to be honest.
Let's bounce this
And
guy.
if we want to balance
Ooh.
next turn, we want to draw
Well,
a card anyways.
We just got rewarded for this play here. Island, okay.
But I guess that's fine. But we shouldn't have played the Mox, I guess, seeing that we wanted to balance.
The balance doesn't hit the Mox. It just hits lands, not artifacts.
Oh, okay. I thought it had hit land, creatures, artifacts, and hand size.
I mean, it would make sense, right? But it doesn't for some reason.
Okay, but it still hits lands, creatures, and hand size, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Just so that I'm not completely off on what we are doing here.
Mm-hmm. Collective Brutality. Okay, let's spell Pierce.
And I think that's a great balance.
I shouldn't like
Wait.
as I just played the land. I don't think it's a great balance anymore now. So maybe we're just gonna let's just Cloudskate here. Bounce the Bob. So if they want to get back into this, they have to play lands at some point.
And then we will get like 3 cards out of their hand with a balance. Will be like a little Mind Twist.
Well.
Or not.
Oh, Teferi is an awesome top deck here. Let's hope they don't
We're
have...
just getting so lucky, to be honest. It's tough.
That was a really lucky draw, yeah.
Into a bribery.
I mean, bribery is not at its best against them. Although I have to say that they could have the Frost Titan not in their hand at this point. Curious to see what this is.
And I think we have a more controlling deck, and they have so little tools to actually win the game versus us that just taking one away from them alone might be reasonable.
Yeah, I think our deck beats their deck in a lot of times, like maybe 8 out of 10 times. I don't want to sound cocky or anything, but like they really light on win conditions. They have a really sweet discard suit. Okay, so this Mind Twist doesn't hurt me at all, actually. Not a play the ball.
After we already played the Fairy, it's fine.
I mean, doesn't hurt me at all. Might be exaggerated a little bit, but Fastpawn seems out of place a little bit also. So let's go ahead, draw a card.
And we just we hit our 5th mana source, which is the max amount that we need, and then we drew to Fairy, into Primary, into Ashiok.
Okay, that seems good. Let's play the Flooded Strand too. And I think we are free to swing too. I mean, both of our Planeswalkers can tank this pretty easily in here, and I just want to get the Bob really out of the game. So like at some point they can't play the Bob anymore. Moldrifter, Hardcast, alright. They should swing on the Teferi here.
Definitely.
Scare them.
Yeah, and I think we should just win from here.
I think so too. I think we can just pass, honestly.
I mean, I don't think we have to win with the Fairy Ultimate, and if they swing for 3 damage, it really doesn't matter at this point.
That's true. I think I'm taking that free Tree Speaker here.
I mean, they have to have something here, right? Seeing that attack.
They have to have a lot. They have to have a lot because not only Teferi survives, like we untap with those Planeswalkers, like every turn we untap with those Planeswalkers, it's just getting more and more devastating for them. And they didn't seem to have like hard removal for Planeswalkers that are on the board. So maybe the next time you want to consider not playing the Fast Bond and playing some cards that impact the board. Like you have some really sweet discard, and this can work out pretty nicely. But you have to have some follow-ups on the board. Draft more bombs, like draft, for example, a questing beast or something that can actually influence the board state. All right. We are 4-0, so I don't think we want to hesitate. So we are on the play, so let's keep it. Or let's go first. But I don't think I want to keep this hand here. It doesn't have early interaction whatsoever. It doesn't have a Mox to turbo things out. It has one of the worst planeswalkers on our side of things. So I think I'm pretty happy to mulligan this hand. What do you say?
Totally fine with it, especially seeing that we're playing an opponent which should be 2-0, so I think we have to go for a higher power level in this game.
This could come back and bite us, but I think I want to keep it and maybe ship the Day of Judgment.
Yeah, if we're keeping it, I think we definitely ship the Day of Judgment.
Let's go ahead and do that. We have a turn 2 counterspell. We're on the play. So we can maybe counter a Signet or something, and if they just jam creatures on us, I think this is the most, one of the best things they can do. All right.
Even though you never love to see the bird, of course.
You never do. Okay, so I don't think we want to counter this. I guess we have to keep up the counter magic for a relevant Devoted Druid. Okay, I don't think we want to counter that still.
No, let's just hope we go for the big payoff next turn and we get them there.
We could also like easy balance.
Even wait one turn with a balance, to be honest.
I would think so too, yeah, because like then we don't lose out on our only play. Or we can sacrifice an island, but let's wait one turn with the balance. So now they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana already. Maybe we don't hit anything with the mana leak here. Well,
yeah,
I think
we can just discard it to
this is like the easiest balance ever.
Couldn't we have mana leak that?
Oh, we don't have to because we have the balance.
Yeah, that's true, of course.
So
but now we have to discard 3 cards, right?
Yeah, that's true. But I think I'm pretty sure we can get rid of the Oust and the Mana Tithe, and after that play Island, and we still have hold up the Mana Leak then. So choose 2 cards in your hand, and we have to discard the rest. Maybe we want to keep Mana Leak and Island, right?
Seems fine to me, yeah.
Yeah, okay, this is how I just figured out how to do it. Now I got it. Well, we are getting rid of a lot of stuff, but they have to sacrifice everything. Here we played a land, and now it's time for a Mana Leak possibly.
Our first hand would have been so great though, with all the lands and just the Day of Judgment.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, let's play the Skydiver now. Start pressuring them. Mox Pearl. Yeah, let's cast it.
And I think that's exactly the matchup we want with this deck, isn't it?
I think so too, yeah. Seems pretty winnable here from this spot also. But like if they have like 2 5-drops in hand, then we can only counter 1. So we rely on having Bribery or Teferi or Gideon. Or it's like we have to find some. Okay, they go for Devoted Druid. Sure.
Are we countering that?
I don't think so.
Or we are countering a thing which they play with it, right?
Yes, I think that's the right choice here. Godless Shrine.
That looks beautiful.
Oh my god. Yeah, but we are not over the hill, if you can say that. So like we have to.
They still have 3 cards in hand, of course. So.
Yes, we need a Teferi here. Days, all right. Maybe we can get him with a Days. We sure have to hope so.
Would have been much greater 1 turn earlier, of course.
Absolutely, man. That's not counterable. Okay, they uptick, so the Garo can tank it 2 turns. Maybe now we can hit something? No, still not.
And they don't attack? No, of course it doesn't have any attack.
Well.
I wouldn't show them the second Mox, to be honest here.
Not yet, no. I agree. I think they have the edge on us here, for sure. Alright, with the Stirring Wildwood, for sure then. Because that has reach. So now we're falling behind a little bit here.
But that looks good.
I just hope they untap the Devoted Druid for a 6-drop. Because they can that's activated ability, so they can always do that. Ooh, oh, that's really bad. We can't counter that with the days.
But they can't untap it on instant speed, right?
They can. It's just a plain old activated ability.
Oh, sorry.
So that's bad. This though I do not understand, because now I can get the Garruk for free. That's great.
Bribery, please.
We are gonna draw a Godless Shrine here, unfortunately.
Yeah, of course.
We could have tried with the days to hit the primal command, so maybe they don't see it.
Yeah, I guess the chance of days actually getting relevant in this matchup are getting slimmer turn by turn.
But maybe they just fetched out on a big creature, okay? So maybe they just fetched a big creature, you know, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're taking 4. Maybe we can counter the Crater Hoof with a daze, so like there's still a possibility. Cryptic Command, alright, that's sweet, that's sweet. Don't think you wanna play the Mox yet.
Oh, we actually lack one blue source to play the Mox and the daze in the same turn. I don't know if we're gonna need to, but...
Yeah, that's a good argument for just playing it here. So they unfortunately get to play the forest on top from the top here with the Corsair. Yeah, I don't think I want to counter that. It's like let's be a little bit patient with this Cryptic Command. Yeah, we need to counter this Whisperwood Elemental. We're taking 6.
And then do we bounce with 3/3 or do we draw a card?
I think we kind of need to draw a card here.
But that also means that if we have to hold up a Cryptic Command, that if we draw like something like a Primal, we can't actually use it. And then we might already be dead.
Okay, maybe a deck check is what we want to do here. Winds of Abandon seems like a really decent top deck.
Yeah, and of course the Day of Judgment also would be huge.
Torrential Gearhulk also could be okay. We have a lot of dead draws at this point. Or like semi-dead.
But I think we can't afford to do nothing here.
Yeah, we should have maybe tapped down all their creatures pre-combat.
Okay, we still can do it next turn, to be fair.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's counter the Whisperwood Elemental and tap down everything next turn.
If they play the main phase 1, if they don't, I think we still have to tap down everything.
Ashiok. Start exciting stuff. Okay, yeah, we hit the Whisperwood Elemental, of course. That's great for us. We have a Primeval Titan, Eversense Pilgrim, and the Whisperwood Elemental under it now. So next turn, if they don't attack the Ashiok, we can get the Whisperwood Elemental in play. Oh, the Ashiok was a pretty nice top deck, actually.
Yeah, but we still definitely need to tap down all the attackers.
They have another forest on top. Alright. Is it really necessary though? Yeah, I think so, right? Let's go ahead and do it. Tap down, draw, or tap down and bounce the beast?
I guess tap down and draw, to be honest.
Alright. Yeah, I kind of like that too. We've drawn so many lands, I think we are pretty likely to find some action here.
And if we get like a board wipe...
Ooh, that's great. So we can Torrential Gearhulk into Cryptic Command one more time. That was awesome. That was pretty neat.
That might actually just have made our...
Wow, they can't play the knight here. Well, I think then I want to get greedy and uptick the Ashiok one more time, so...
Yeah, definitely. I don't even think it's greedy, to be honest. I think we kind of have to play the Gearhulk.
No, I mean, we could have minus the Ashiok and get a Whisperwood Elemental into play. But that
we still can do that the turn after.
Yes. Okay. I mean, we could also swing in here. Problem is that they have the Bloodbraid Elf, so I'm not gonna swing. Let's care about the time just a little bit. Oh, Sundering Titan on the top. That's a strong one, for sure. But as we are trying to get a Primeval Titan down next turn, I think we can be still in good shape here. Wow, Cryptic Command is really doing the job here. Smells like a Crater of Behemoth or something. They want to go for the win. I will say...
You called it.
I will say no to that. I have to make sure they don't mess up. So do we want to tap everything down or just draw a card here?
I think we draw a card.
Alright. Yeah, we can really do that. Wow, that was insane. That was insane. Now they're really, really far behind. I didn't think we can come back after this. Wow. Okay. Mole Drifter. I think we're getting a Primeval Titan here. We don't have any man lands, which is a little bit unfortunate. Feels kinda rough to take the fetch lands as we're so low on life.
Yeah, and also we still have a Felidar retreat and we want to draw them if we have that in place, so.
And then we can play a land, and then we can... Maybe we should have done it first. Oh, Banishing Light. That's sweet. So at this point, I feel free to attack with the Thieving Skydiver, actually.
Yeah, I would have argued the same way. Oh, I would have argued for the same here.
They have 3 attackers, we have 3
I think we're
blocked.
totally fine on board.
We could go ahead and get rid of the Corso Crewfix.
Yeah, but I think it's just better to just kill the Thundering Titan next turn.
They have the Elf in hand that can get rid of the Vanishing Light though, so we want to keep that in mind. But maybe they just play it to get rid of the Torrential Gearhawk, so...
They have a Reclamation Sage.
They have the Knight of Autism.
Ah, okay, I missed that one, but yeah, of course, right, we saw it on top.
Okay, Deranged Hermit. So you're not done here. I'm pretty sure. It's still a rough fight. I think they play the Knight of Autumn to get rid of the Gearhawk now.
We didn't... Of course, they had the mana.
So now they can kill the Asher, but they lose out on the Beast. And yeah, they lose out on the Beast, basically.
And a 1/1.
And maybe they get greedy and go face. It's 4. Oh yeah, they had the Bloodbraid.
And I think now we use the days, right?
We can't, because they can't just pay... Oh, the channel. Oh, they can channel here. Oh, it's the Rex Sage. Okay, so the channel is on top of the library. Reclamation Sage. Well, we are still fighting. Like, maybe we lose it now. They can get rid of a Mox only. Didn't really get there on the days. Okay, they don't swing, which
They don't attack.
I like a lot. So Gideon, oh, that's a good one. That's a really sweet draw because that saves us. So now maybe we can just go face now. Hey, they just scooped. That was a little bit early, I think. We are only 13 minutes and 50. Like we have some time loss that we have to recoup. Okay, let's start sideboarding. Definitely a nice creature matchup here. So maybe
I think we want the enchantment which steals the creature, exactly.
Although maybe the Sword of Temptation is even better here. Because they
didn't have any removal, right?
They didn't have any removal, but they had enchantment removal in the form of the Knight of Autumn and the
Reclamation Sage.
They didn't have an artifact, right?
I don't think they had one, no.
Alright, so let's cut the Skydiver, bring in a Sun Titan and the Sword of Temptation. Because if they get rid of like the Mox or something like...
Did we play a single card which actually we could have spell pierced? I don't think we saw a single card in their whole deck and we saw like everything besides 13 cards, which was an instant or sorcery.
They had a Nissa and they also had the 5 mana spell command, like a primeval command.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, of course.
And also the Garruk, also the Garruk was in there, so I think Spell Pierce is worth it still.
Yeah, you're right, definitely.
So, do we want to keep this hand? I don't really think so.
I think it's too slow.
That's really too slow. It has all we need, but it's not at this point. Like Teferi, usually you're right on scale, but not this time.
If this was Hearthstone, perfectly fine hand.
Okay, let's keep this and get rid of the Sun Titan, maybe. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that seems right.
They have a Dork.
That's the call tapped and the red, and because we have to look out for time, we should try to play fast here.
Yeah, and with this start, we are somewhat like we're not losing, but we are unfavored here with the start for sure.
And I think we maybe should even have bought it out with Banishing Light against their 2 elves.
Yeah, but as we have the Sun Titan, like maybe it's okay for them to get rid of it. We can bring it back later. So that's what I thought. That's mostly why I bought it in the Sun Titan also. So let's just spend here. They have their Naya colors assembled. Maybe they go Bloodbraid Elf into something. Alright, Huntmaster of the Fell. Guess we will have to Banishing Light that. Or do we just want to draw 2? I guess I want to draw 2 here.
And just dig for the board wipe.
Yes.
Okay.
Guess that makes more sense than taking away the Huntmaster. Alright.
But we can steal the Huntmaster next turn.
Yes. I'm pretty afraid of the mountain. Like the Sour of Temptation, of course, like with the mountains. That's a Nissa. If it's a Nissa, do we want to get rid of the Nissa or play the Sour of Temptation? Okay, it's just a Garruk.
I think you have to kill the Nissa. It rams so much versus a big green deck. It's just insane.
So here, do you want to Sour of Temptation the Huntmaster? Or play Banishing Light? Yeah, let's Sour of Temptation the Huntmaster.
I think that would be my play too. But this is looking hard.
It's not looking good. We have a bounce next turn, alright. Ah. Okay,
We have a bribery.
maybe we can kill him next turn. Let's see. Let's Sour. It's a lot of pressure that they're putting on us.
Yeah. Killing them next turn might be asking a little bit much, but
Yeah, with the Craterhoof we have 3, so that's 5, that's 5. If they tap out and attack us, I think we have won this. Depending on what they do now. Oh my god. Oh, they had the Craterhoof, so it's over now. 9,
I think it is,
16
yeah.
plus 6. 16 plus 6
It's
is
over.
22, yeah. Okay, you got us, opponent. Pretty sick start there. Maybe we should have gone
that was
mulligan.
insane.
Maybe we should have gone a mulligan deeper to 5 then. That was just a really sick start here
Yeah.
by the opponent. The Esper 2 drop and maybe the Spellseeker for Winds of Abandon.
Yeah, that could also be great, of course. I haven't run it like that.
Maybe
We
cut
also
the
need
Sun
one time.
Titan again under the play. Should be fine, right? Okay, that seems solid. They mull down
That
to 6.
actually seems really nice, doesn't it?
It seems good, yeah, it seems good. Like they have a channel in the deck, so let's not forget about that. So they can have some really broken starts. Let's lead on
Yeah.
in the Mesa. Fetch
Then
for...
we get blue black land. When we hold up Mana League and when we play Ashiok, I mean, it seems totally fine to me.
I hope it's enough. So let's fetch for Godless Shrine tapped. Oh, Mox Pearl. Which was just jam and Ashiok on them.
I actually think that has to be the right play, just being mana efficient. And countering a 4-drop should be better than countering a 3-drop.
That makes perfect sense to me too. Oh, we already have the Corso of Crufix. And we exiled Regrowth and Forests. Maybe they just kill... Oh yeah, I thought about that. I thought that could happen. So now, do you think it's good to just bring the Corso in play here?
Can we? I mean, we only had 3 mana.
No, the Corso, like we can freely put the Corso into play with the Ashiok. Think that's good?
Yeah, then I would go for it for sure.
Because we can maybe find a land on top. Perfect. And now we have the Gearhawk, so then let's chill. So let's hope they shock it in. They don't. Don't think that's worth a counter spell. If it was a daze, I think I would have dazed it, but that's like... Okay. Start by opting the Ashiok.
I want to see a Creator Hoof here.
Pardon?
And I think I got my wish. I said I want to see the Creator Hoof exiled here, and I think we got it, didn't we?
Oh my god, nice. Okay, that's a huge edge here. So let's just pass the turn, keep up the mana leak. So they must be afraid of Cryptic. They have to be afraid of so many things. I really think we have the edge here on them in this game.
Yeah, and we have a Planeswalker and we have a Curse of Crufix.
So that's
so much
easy
value.
mana leak on the Nissa here. So we are taking away everything from them. Meta, throw on top. So what is this? Devoted Druid and a Cradle. So let's start upticking again. What do we hit? Devoted Druid, Deranged Hermit. Okay, so that could be an option next turn. We have the island, so maybe we want a Spellseeker here because oh no, I shouldn't have played.
Then you shouldn't have played the island. Yeah.
Yes. Maybe we just Banishing Light the Noble Hierarch.
Do we really have to?
No, but I want to do something, so we don't want the Mana Tithe here, so let's go for a Spellseeker.
Okay.
Could get the
Also
Oust.
seems reasonable to me.
For me too, kinda agree. So let's grab the Oust and oust the Noble Hierarch, right?
We could do that, or we could just hold it. I mean, seeing that the Creator of Behemoth is gone, I don't think we have too many other cards which actually
So,
Come in aggressive.
oh, that's really sad. Like there was an actual misplay here. So I think I want to oust the Noble Hierarch now. So it gives them double. It takes them off of double white. And like the other good thing about this is that they have to draw it too. So in 3 turns they're gonna draw a completely useless Noble Hierarch.
No, we won't because we uptick the Ashiok, I think.
Oh well. So maybe we don't uptick the Ashiok and downtick the Ashiok, so they draw this Noble Hierarch.
But if we uptick it, can't we play the Creator with the turn after that?
It's also true.
Isn't it still like worth it? And we have a Torrential Gearhawk up.
We have Torrential Gearhawk into Mana Leak, and then yeah, next turn we can kill him with a Crater Hoof. So let's go ahead and do that. Well, I kind of like the idea that they have a useless draw.
I mean, if we play the Gearhawk and then in their end step and then Creator Hoof, we have to be close to that, right?
Usually they die. Yeah, not the best thing to oust here, but like it gave us the decision to just leave the Noble Hierarch on top. Right, that's an easy Mana Leak too. They should scoop at this point.
Yeah, it's just over.
I think it's GG's. Yep. They saw it. Hey, we tag team out the trophy. What do you say about that?
Congratulations.
Congratulations to you too. There was like a nice tag team action, man.
Thank you for the invitation. I really had a lot of fun. Let's do this again sometime.
Absolutely, man. Thanks a lot for being here and joining me on this draft. And see you the next time. See you guys the next time. Goodbye.
Goodbye.